So the other aspect in regards to durability, has anybody heard of transformation toughening? Is that a familiar concept to anybody? Pincus has. That's good. I'm seeing some heads shake, so that's awesome. So it's this ability, when zirconia first came out, and you'll hear actually Rella Christensen talk about this quite a bit, I think Christian probably, Gordon too, like with the original substructure zirconia. What it was is when you have an impact or a crack starting to develop, then the zirconia, what's in a tetragonal phase, it goes into a different phase and it actually expands and it fills in that crack. And so that's kind of all part of this. This other aspect is also in relation to the grain boundaries. And so they're both kind of connected, but with the grain boundaries, you'll notice this first line here, there's a lot more surface area to the grain boundaries. So if a crack's going to go through the zirconia, it's got to travel a lot more if you straighten out this line or if it kept going, but it stops here. Whereas there's a lot less surface area of the grain boundary in larger grain zirconia. And so that function itself, that mechanical function, there's a crack inhibition. And then in relation to transformation toughening, so if we look at conventional cubic zirconia, so as we're saying, these get larger and larger. These are cubic grains, these are tetragonal grains. And so as you add more yttria to make it more translucent, you get more cubic grains, which are larger by nature when you're working with the 50 micron size. And so when you get a crack, then these tetragonal grains, they'll grow, turn into monoclinic, but because there's so much space in between them, because you have these large grains, it doesn't effectively fill that space. So you're losing that transformation toughening, you're losing that hardening that you would get. And so with a material that's processed colloidally, you end up having a lot smaller cubic grains. And so when you get that crack, in order to inhibit it, the monoclinic is able to grow and fill that space that's not as large, right? And so you're able to actually have still effect on a translucent zirconia in relation to transformation toughening or in relation to kind of curing that crack.